Have you ever had that creeping feeling something was wrong, but you couldn't put your finger on it? That's exactly what happened to me. Let me give you some context before I dive into the unsettling events that shook my home. Our family cat, Cosmo, has always slept in the basement. It's been his nighttime routine ever since I can remember. Every night, without fail, my parents would scoop him up and place him in the basement, mainly to avoid him shedding all over their bed. Cosmo was an outdoor cat, too, so if anyone forgot to put him downstairs at night, he'd wake everyone up at 3 a.m., yowling to be let out. He never seemed to mind the basement until a few weeks ago when everything changed. One night, as usual, I placed Cosmo on the little landing at the top of the basement stairs. Normally, he'd trot down and settle on whatever furniture he liked. But this time, something was different. I shut the door behind him and, moments later, heard a strange meowing. I opened the door and, to my surprise, he bolted into the living room like he was chasing something. His food bowl was full, so I had no clue why he was acting so weird. For the next 2 nights, the same thing happened. He refused to go down into the basement. I chalked it up to old age, not wanting to admit anything else could be wrong. The following day, Cosmo wouldn't even come inside the house. He just stayed curled up on the doormat, which was strange. That night, I let him sleep in my room, thinking maybe he just needed a change of scenery. He seemed calmer, but then something far more unsettling began to happen. I woke up one night and saw a figure standing in my doorway. It was perfectly still, just standing there in the faint glow of the hallway light. I thought it was my sister and called out to her, but the figure vanished. I was too tired to investigate and brushed it off, thinking I was just seeing things. A couple of days later, we discovered the real reason Cosmo had been avoiding the basement: a flea infestation. The basement was crawling with them. My dad, furious, tore through the room, vacuuming, spraying, and cleaning. He was determined to clear the place, and we were told to avoid it for a few days to let the chemicals do their job. But even after all that cleaning, things only got stranger. Late one night, I noticed the hallway light flickering under my door. I thought it was just my dad moving around, but the light kept flickering. It went on for longer than felt normal, and I was too freaked out to check. Eventually, it stopped, but the sense of unease was overwhelming. A few days later, I ventured back into the basement, excited to finally play my video games again. But the fleas were still there. It didn't make sense. After everything we did, they should have been gone. That's when I decided to check the storage room in the back of the basement. As I opened the door, a wave of rotten stench hit me. I gagged and traced the smell to a dark, unfinished crawl space where the plumbing runs through the house. It was pitch black. As I was about to grab a flashlight, I heard it breathing. Slow, steady breathing, coming from the darkness. My heart dropped, and before I could react, something moved. Fast. A figure lunged out of the crawl space, a hand reaching for me. I jumped back and bolted up the stairs, slamming the door behind me. I called the police, shaking. They searched the entire house but found nothing. Well, almost nothing. In that crawl space, they found empty chip bags and food wrappers. Someone had been living in our basement. The officer said it was likely a homeless person looking for shelter, but I couldn't shake the feeling they had been there for a lot longer than we realized. My parents were horrified, and we've kept the basement door locked ever since. Cosmo still won't go anywhere near that door. Now, every time I walk past that door, I wonder, just how much had they seen? How long were they hiding right under our noses? And most importantly, could they come back? Keep an eye on the dark corners of your home. You never know who or what might be lurking there.